Hello and welcome to Learn English with Jojo. And right now I am back in Chicago, well, the Chicago suburbs, and I am very, very jet lagged. It is 9 o'clock in the morning, and I have been up for 7 or 8 hours. So, it's going well so far, my transition. And I have a lot of energy because my whole flight time was over 24 hours, and then I just slept for 13 hours. And needless to say, I feel a little strange. So this video might be a little strange. Okay, so in my travels a few weeks ago, I was in England and Scotland, and I noticed a lot of differences in how English and Scottish people speak English, as opposed to how American people speak English. So I wanted to record this video today to bring you some of the differences that I noticed in the way that English and Scottish people speak English. Not the differences between English and Scottish people, but the difference between English and Scottish people and the people like me, American people, people from the United States of America. And that's another thing I could talk about in a future video. Should we call ourselves Americans if America is also short for North America and South America and not just for United States of America? Anyway, so I chose 5 out of my notebook that I was writing down a lot, and I thought I would bring them to you. So where are we? Okay. For the rest of this video, I am going to speak in my fake British accent. Is that alright with you? No? Okay, then I'm going to keep talking like this because I feel bad. Okay, so the first one I wanted to talk about is the difference between intermission and interval. Now, in this context, I am talking about in a play because I saw a play in London with my sister. We actually went to the play Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which is by Tom Stoppard. But in this version, it had Daniel Radcliffe in it. So we actually got to meet the actor that played Harry Potter after the show. He signed our tickets, and it was pretty cool. Anyway, before this show, on the loudspeakers, they made an announcement that said, "You can only leave the theater in the interval." And I was like, the interval? What are you talking about? Ah, interval. Intermission. We're at a play, it's probably the intermission. That makes sense. So in the US, we say intermission when we talk about the break in between 2 acts of a play. But in the UK, they say interval, even if that sounds weird to my ears. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is a mobile. A mobile. Sorry, I just think it's so funny to say mobile because in the US, we say mobile when we use that word, a mobile phone. They say a mobile as a shortened version of mobile phone. And in the US, we say phone, or we say cell phone, or I usually just say phone. Okay, and the third one is adverts. Adverts. And that is short for advertisements. So that could be an advert in, sorry, it's just funny to say advert. Advert in between something on a TV show or on just a billboard. That could be an advert too. But in the United States, we say commercial if it's on TV, and we say a billboard, or we just say an ad. Oh yeah, that's what we say. We say an ad. I think they say ad as well in the UK, but that might be American influence. So, yeah. And the fourth one is a little bit more complicated, a little bit more nuanced. It's the difference between he's called and his name is. So, in the UK, when they're referring to people, and let's say someone's telling me who their friend is, what their friend's name is. They'll say, he's called Callum, for example. He's called Callum. But in the US, we wouldn't say he's called Callum. We would say his name is Callum. Callum. His name is Callum. Or we'd just say he's Callum or this is Callum. But they'd also say that in the UK too. In the US, we wouldn't say he's called Callum. We only use that type of sentence when we're referring to an object or a place. So I would say, hey, what's that called? And I'm pointing to a chair. And my friend, who also happens to be named Jojo, would say, this is called a chair, silly. Don't you know anything? Yeah, okay. I'm not very funny. And yeah, so that's just a little difference. If you said he's called in the US, we would totally understand. I just think it's very British. Oh, he's called Callum. Oh, he's my best friend. Okay. I hope any British people watching aren't offended by my accent, but this is how I talk to the Queen. And the last one is the difference between a coach and a bus. In the UK, you would refer to a bus that takes you from a city to another city in the UK. You would call that a coach. Whereas in the US, we just call it a bus. We would also say a coach bus, but we would also say, I took the bus from Chicago to New York. Whereas in the UK, they would say, I took a coach from Chicago to New York. And this became a problem for me when I was in Manchester visiting a friend. Actually, I was on the bus, or the coach, to Manchester, and I texted her. I said, okay, I'm on the bus. I'll be off soon. And so she texted back, okay, I'll come down. And what she meant was, I'll come get you, because she thought I was already at her apartment. But really, I had another bus, a city bus, to take to her apartment from the coach bus station. So she went downstairs for nothing. And so it really wasn't a big deal, but you can see how there can be little misunderstandings if you aren't aware of these differences. So it's even good for us American people to know that you say coach. Okay. That's it for the moment. I might continue this as a series in the future, although it will be a limited series. Maybe I could watch UK TV and write down all the differences I hear in that or something, since I'm no longer actually in the country. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to this channel. I make a lot of videos in French for people who speak French trying to learn English, but I also make videos like this where I just talk about language in general and learning languages in general, or learning French and Spanish. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, and I will see you soon for another video.